Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the last session of the Summer School of Time Policies. This is the first training session that is being broadcast through all the world, explaining what are time policies and how we can implement your time organization in your own organization. So we are very happy to be here. I am Marta Junque, Director of the Time Use Initiative. This Summer School of Time, it's been funded by the European Commission and especially through the project Time for All. And we are very happy to have you all here to share this session with us. What we will be doing today? Today, basically, we are going to answer the question on how to implement time policies in your organization. What can you do? We will answer this question during all the session, but also we will provide you a set of tools for helping private organizations to move forward to a healthier and more efficient and egalitarian ways of working, ways of organizing your time. The session also will count with the participation of two companies, private companies that can be a source of inspiration to all of us on how to implement that. So that's going to be a very, very practical session, which we will ask as well your participation through polls that we will launch through the chat. So be aware that we will ask for your active participation. As I was saying, we will have the case study from different companies. We will present a tool, but before that, I would like to very shortly present why we are doing this session and why we consider that it's very important that your organization can use time policy tools while designing your own policies. That's why I'm going to present you a short presentation on what is the problem, why we are proposing to have time policies in the agenda. I'm going to explain you the proposal that the Spanish government is moving forward, that is to have the first world time use law and why that's important. And then which are 5 proposals that we propose that you could implement in your organization if it's the first time that you are implementing time policies. So come with me. First of all, which is the problem that we want to share with you? The problem that we have identified, and probably most of you are currently dealing with, is this time unrest, time unhappiness. Probably you know a lot of people that say, I don't have enough time in my life. I'm stressed, I'm burnout, I need more hours. This is a sign of time unrest, of time poverty. Just to give you some data at the European level, is that it is found that the structural sleep deprivation leads to estimated losses in the national GDP of between 1 and 2%. So if we don't sleep properly, if we don't rest properly, we cannot produce properly in our work. Also, it is estimated that around 40–45% of the workers, total workers in the European Union, say that they don't have enough time for leisure. And this especially affects women and men that have children or that are in the sandwich generation. They have children, but they also have parents that they need their help. This, as I said, in some countries goes up to 40%. In others, it goes between 20 and 40. And also, probably, as we said at the beginning, some of you feel that you waste a lot of time in the rush hours, that you have stress in your workplace, that you have an addiction to be connected, or a need to be connected with your work. All that is a summary of indicating that there is a general problem, that is this time unrest. And this time unrest generates time poverty. That means that after working paid work, after doing your obligatory tasks related to care. And after sleeping, you don't have time for yourself. If this happens to you, you need to know that you have time poverty. And knowing that our workers have time poverty is not good, because these have mental and physical health problems, which contribute to a lower productivity. That's why we want to change that, and that's why we are proposing to improve the time management in our organization. And why is that important? It's important because the way that the time is ordered determines the type of society that and the model that we are living in. So every time we are living, every era needs to have its own agreements on time organization. And now it's not happening. No, in the last 200 years in Europe, there has been many transformations, but it seems that we are not moving from the framework of the 8 hours. We will talk about that, the triangles of 8 hours, and it looks like we still need to rethink with all this innovation, with in artificial intelligence, with all this innovation that is coming ahead. We need to think how to improve our time management. Also, the time organization and the distribution between working time and resting periods is fundamental, as I was saying, to ensure the productivity of a company. All this comes with a legal context that is related to the decent work. That was the concept that International Labour Organization launched in 2019, and says that if there is not a proper balance between the work time and the rest of areas of time use in our life, we cannot have a decent work. So it's very important for that. Also, European courts, and there are 7 different regulations that introduce this need of work-life balance. So that's what we will be working today on. As I said at the beginning, I want to introduce you that in Spain, we are at the moment working directly with the Ministry of Labor, working through the approval of the first law on time use. And what we did to approve this law, that is going to be an holistic law to improve the time organization in companies, but also the things that we do outside of the companies that can help companies to be more productive. What we did, the first one, is to identify which problems we have. And probably some of you can relate to them. Spain has a problem that sleeps less than Europe. 60% of the work absence are caused related to work, the stress that we have at work. And more than 30% of the population that are workers have problem in disconnecting. These are numbers from Spain, but in most of the European countries and most of the developed countries, the numbers are similar. So probably you can relate to them. Also, we can see that 35% of women with children have time poverty. They don't have time for themselves. And 20% of men in Spain. Also, this perception of ability to balance work and personal life is lower in Spain than the rest of the European Union, but is a trend in the European Union. And when we look at the part-time, those people that usually tend to work less in a paid work, they have less time dedicated to paid work. What we see is that 75% of them are women. And when you ask them why they do that, 80% of them, they say that because they need to take care of their family. So exactly, the model that we have at the moment is not working. We also have problems with the innovations that we have in the market. In Spain, we have less teleworking than the rest of the European Union. Workers have low autonomy, and this is an indicator of how well you can manage your schedules, the importance of having autonomy on organizing your own schedules. So we see in Spain that workers have less autonomy to organize their work time, and a specific problem of Spain. 6.6 million hours of overtime done every week. So we also have a problem with the overtime. Taking all this data, what we see is we need a law to improve our time management organization. And that's the solution, no? That the Ministry of Work is committed, of Labor, is committed to approve this law. This law needs to find a better balanced organization of time that brings better health and better well-being, better equality, better efficiency in our companies, and also better sustainability. So it's a win-win for everybody if we organize better our times. And the time policies are the tool for designing these policies and oriented to improve this social organization of time. So that's why we invite all of you to have time policies inside of your company. Because as I was saying in the beginning, more than 200 years ago, in the European welfare system, we create this idea of the triangle of 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for leisure. But what we see is that this model is outdated. It doesn't work anymore. The data show it. And what we need now is a diamond of life balance, where care is considered as one of the mandatory activities that we need to do among the day. If we do that, as I said, it will be a win-win for everybody. And to finalize me and my introduction to today's debate, I just wanted to show you this document that it was published by Time Use Week, Time Use Initiative last year, working with different experts around Europe, that is transforming working time towards a more balanced time organization. In this document that is accessible online, you will be able to find it. If you go to our website in publications, you will find 5 key ideas that we want to show you today, and also ask to our speakers later if they are applying these measures. The first measure is it's important to reducing the working time. Our proposal is go through 37 hours and a half, mandatory for everybody in all the sectors, and through the collective bargaining, each sector can adapt how to apply, but this reduction of working hours. And at the same time, this needs to be linked with increased options of reducing these working hours. Maybe some people are divorced or separated, so they need to have more free time during one week and less free time during the other week. So trying to introduce this flexibility. This is one proposal, but it cannot be the only one. We need to go with other proposals. Another proposal, the second that I want to show, is to make the workday more compact. It's important that we try to reduce the pauses during the day, especially for those that are doing part-time works, that they have less pauses and they can dedicate less time on waiting time between work and another work. Another important aspect is to work in a more flexible schema. Flexibility is the tool to have more autonomy. And that's why it's important that we elaborate as a company a plan for working time arrangements. Ask your employees how they would prefer to work. Ask them, try to elaborate together a plan, and probably you will see how your company is going to increase the productivity and the satisfaction results. These are some of the proposals that we are proposing in the document, which, as I said, it is published, and I will recommend you to follow it. And now that we have done this short introduction, I'm going to move you to the second part of today's debate, that, as I said before, it's the idea of compiling good practices and to listening directly to companies on how they have applied these good practices. For that, I will give the word to Alicia Torra, who is the Human Resources Director at ENIAF. Good afternoon, Alicia. And we are very delightful to listen on how you have applied good practices at your company.
Hi, hello. Hi, thank you so much for inviting us. And thank you everyone who is attending the session.
Deixa de compartir, Marta. I que comparteixi l'Alicia.
I will present my slides. I am sharing, I think. Is everything all right?
Un segon. Ja ho tenim. Endavant, Alicia.
Thank you so much. So yes, I am HR Director at Etnia Barcelona. I will start with a brief introduction about the company. So Etnia Barcelona is an eyewear brand born in Barcelona back in 2001. The owner and founder of the business is David Pellicer, who is the third generation of a manufacturing family business. And our three main pillars are color, quality, and culture. We use natural materials for the frames and mineral lenses, and we have always been related to the world of art, collaborating with well-known photographers, artists, musicians, and so on. We have our own flagship store in the city center, and our headquarters are here in Barcelona, but we actually sell all over the world. We have over 15,000 points of sale, and we have also offices and warehouses in Miami, Vancouver, and Hong Kong, with a total of more than 600 employees, and also 2 factories in China. Regarding the time policies that we have at Etnia Barcelona, I will focus on the headquarters, which is a 5-floor building in Esplugues de Llobregat, next to Barcelona. And what we have, for example, is flexible working. Back to audio. We have flexible working hours. We can get into the office between 7:30 and 9:30 in the morning. And basically, during the week, if we are full-time, we work the 40 hours, but because we do work with reduced hours on Fridays, which is 6 hours, then the 2 hours that we don't do on Fridays, we can do between Monday and Thursday. So we can start the weekends a bit earlier. And we don't have a long lunch break. We can do just a 30 minutes lunch break. And if somebody wants to take a longer break, it's up to them, it's fine. Somebody want to go to the gym, so it's perfect. And one of the most fabulous things that we have is our own restaurant, La Cuina, on the 5th floor, serving organic and healthy menus every day for us, which, you know, this is a really time saver because you don't have to think of what I'm going to eat, you don't have to cook and everything. And also they offer takeaway, so we can even have our dinner at home if we want. This is the space of La Cuina. It's, to be honest, is lovely, it's great. We also have 1 day a week working from home if we want. It's optional, of course. During the summer period, we work 7 hours a day instead of 8, which is also very positive, you know, when summertime. Also fruit at the office every day, health insurance for all employees and good deals for family members. Multiple trainings. We normally use midday hours also to take language lessons or Microsoft lessons. We offer different types of trainings, technical, soft skills, everything. And obviously discounts on our products, eyeglasses, sunglasses for everyone. And that's it. Thank you.
Marta, al micro.
Thank you very much, Alicia, for explaining these amazing policies that you already have. And now I would like to give the floor to Pau Domingo, who is the
Pau, ja et pots
manager,
compartir?
project manager at Bassetis. That is an industrial company that won the award on time policies for companies in 2023. So we are very happy to listen at your experience. Welcome, Pau.
Endavant.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thanks to the Summer School of Time for that opportunity. Today, I'm excited to share with you our experiences at Bassetis regarding time-related policies. But before delving into that, please allow me to introduce our company, which, I hope, will provide a clearer picture of who we are. With a team of 370 people, we are driven by a profound commitment to social transformation. Our services portfolio includes a wide range of business and information in technology consulting services. However, at Bassetis, we like to say that we are more than just a consulting company. Our offices is located in La Pedrera, an emblematic building in Barcelona. It was designed by Antoni Gaudí more than 100 years ago, and we are proud to work in such an iconic building, and we enjoy it every day. Here, we can see our areas of expertise. At Bassetis, we have proven expertise in provision of services framed in different areas of knowledge, like developing and maintaining applications, both web and mobile, data analysis, AI, cloud infrastructure, cybersecurity, marketing, and we have also a creative agency. At Bassetis, we are proud to collaborate with numerous clients across various industries. Our client portfolio includes well-known companies such as Naturgy, Mobile World Congress, or ISDIN, and many more. In essence, Bassetis is a modern technological consulting company, offering a diverse catalog of services designed to meet the dynamic needs of our clients. But now, what truly sets us apart is not merely what we do, but how we do it. That's the part on which I want to focus today. Let's begin with the simple set of questions. What is a company? Is a company the same as a business? It's Bassetis' purpose to make money. What is our purpose? Those are the questions that we usually ask ourselves. These are questions, key questions, for us to help us to define what we are and what we are not. At Bassetis, we believe that a company transcends the mere goal of making money. While financial success is crucial, it's not our sole purpose. And here, with all of that in mind, we defined our missions. Our mission is multifaceted and revolves around several core principles: thinking of people, developing trust, committing services, and pushing social change. We focus on thinking about people, and we put people first. We strive to build an environment where our employees feel valued and our clients receive solutions that not only meet their needs, but also contribute to greater good. This mission encourages us to innovate, collaborate, and make a difference in the communities we serve. But you may be asking yourself, okay, but how do we set our actions towards to complete these missions? The answer, it is with our organization model. We are a team organization. You may be familiarized with that concept, but just in case, let me do a short explanation. Team organization is a concept defined by Frederic Lelux on his book Reinventing Organizations, where he analyzed the evolution of the ways in which humans have organized themselves across the ages. I would love to explain more about Lelux theory, but we do not have time today. Instead, I will focus on how we apply the team model at Bassetis. At Bassetis, the company governance is distributed across 18 areas, which employees can join voluntarily. The dedication to these areas is part of our working hours. There are some crucial tips essential for making the model work. and we always try to follow them. Some of these tips are directly related to our time policies, as we will see later. To better explain why we trust the TIL model, we would like to pose the following questions. When do I maximize my engagement and give my best? We often ask ourselves these questions, and we also ask our employees for feedback when we explain the model. Usually, we tend to receive these three answers. When I'm given the capacity to make decisions about my own role and my contribution to the project, when I can be myself and what I do enrich me both personally and professionally, and when I'm aligned with the project objectives. And these three answers align perfectly with the three pillars of the TIL model, as defined by LaLux. The self-management empowers our employees to take ownership of their work and make decisions autonomously. We aim to leverage collective intelligence and ensure that the decisions are made as close as possible where they have an impact. Through wholeness, we strive to the happiness, engagement, and growth mindset of individuals within the organization. We ensure that personal and professional lives are in harmony. We believe that when individuals are true to themselves and their work enriches them personally, they perform at their best. With evolutionary purpose, we aim for reaching alignment of everybody in the company in achieving our goals. This alignment ensures that everyone is working towards a common goal, creating a cohesive and motivated workforce. As I mentioned previously, people are at the heart of our organization. Therefore, we have various policies and best practices designed for the well-being of our employees. As you can see here, we have different initiatives to provide supportive and flexible work environment. But now, I would like to focus on our time policies. At Basetis, we understand the importance of managing time effectively. So first of all, let me explain you about our full flexibility in working hours policy. At Basetis, we don't have fixed schedules. This means that employees have the freedom to set their own working hours, allowing them to better accommodate their personal and professional needs. Each person is responsible for managing their own schedule. This promotes a sense of autonomy and empowerment within the team, which in turn fosters responsibility and commitment. We use shared calendars, where employees indicate their availability. This facilitates communication and coordination among colleagues, ensuring that everyone is aware of each other's working hours. When an employee will not be able during certain hours, it is clearly specified in the calendar, and this helps to avoid misunderstanding and ensures transparent communication within the team. We recognize that personal commitments may arise that require flexibility in working hours. At Basetis, we strive to be understanding and supportive of our employees in these situations. Another thing that I want to mention is full flexibility in remote work. At Basetis, we offer the option to work completely remotely if you want, allowing employees to perform their tasks from the comfort of their homes or other locations outside the office. Additionally, employees have also the option to work from the office every day, or if they prefer, to do some tasks that require in-person collaboration. This flexibility allows individuals to choose the work environment that best suits their needs and preferences. With flexibility, the employees can balance their work life with their family and personal responsibilities. This can significantly contribute to their well-being and job satisfaction. Numerous studies have shown that remote work can increase employees' productivity by reducing the commuting time and creating a more comfortable work environment. To enhance our sense of community, we also organize optional in-person leisure events outside of regular work hours. These events offer employees opportunities to socialize, fostering a positive work culture and promoting team building. In like to our commitment to a TIL organization model and our implementation of flexible work policies, Regarding both, several key conclusions emerge. Promoting of autonomy and responsibility, enhancement of well-being job satisfaction, increase in productivity and efficiency, boosting of sense of belonging in the workplace. To summarize, our company, by following a team model and adopting flexible work measures, is demonstrating that flexible work arrangements are not only beneficial for employees, but also for the company as a whole. Thank you very much, and I will be glad to answer any question that you may have.
Thank you very much, Pau, for this amazing work that you are doing, and especially to explaining very well these two policies on flexibility in working hours and flexibility in the remote control. Well, we are asking the audience to have the possibility to make some questions. I would like to launch a first question to the two of you. That is, how did your organization identify this need for change, this need to introduce these time policies? Why? And also, which challenges did you find while introducing these policies that you were describing?
So here, normally it came after the pandemic, the COVID pandemic. I think all of us had to, invent and adapt to the new reality. And in terms of challenges, I think it's all good things. So it was pretty well received. And yeah, everything keeps changing, and youngest generations have other priorities, and you have to be inclusive with all the different realities, people having kids, people having to commute. Everyone is different, and you have to be conscious of that and to offer solutions so everyone can work in a comfortable conditions and way, and it's always a win-win, so it's good for all parties.
Thank you, Alicia. I like this sentence of it's a win-win for all parties, right? That's one of the brilliant things of time policies. Pau, what do you think about this need? How did you identify the need, the challenges, and even if you can develop a bit on the outcomes, which were the outcomes of your policies?
Okay, as I want to say, first of all, that I agree with that win-win. I think that it's what I say at last slide, that it's not only beneficial for people, it's also beneficial for companies. So I invite everybody to make changes in that time policies and that culture that we have to update. So we started, as I explained it, our time policies are pretty related with our model and our organization model, that it was implemented not at the beginning of the history of Basetis. It was implemented when the company was growing up, was incorporating people, and we think about how to organize ourselves to distribute this power and to make everybody part of these decisions. And with that in mind, this a key a thing that is key here is trust in people. So this flexibility, special and time flexibility, it's needed that to adopt trust culture with everybody, horizontal and vertical. So here, I think that's something that it has been maybe a bit challenging, but we are really happy today on how it's working, this trust, and it's working fine. And the outcomes you were asking me, we have full control, and we take care about how people is living the work and their day-by-day jobs and day-by-day duties, and we also make regular service. And for now, we have been a team organization since 2017, and we are having happy and successful results with that service. So yes, we think that we are arriving at the goal to have more happy people and people that likes to work in that kind of environment with that flexibility. And we also, I wanted to mention that we have a low rate in rotation rates. This is something that we must say, that this kind of thinking in people and putting family balance, it's something that it always have an impact for how people feels like working there.
Thank you, Pau. It's very good to see that both of you, like you you see that through these policies, the employees have a higher satisfaction. This generates less rotation, which is a very important factor at the moment, no? Attracting the talent and keeping the talent within the organization. This is one of the challenges that the companies are facing at the moment. And also how this trust culture that you were mentioning, the importance of having trust, autonomy, that the previous model, maybe it was based on control, strict control of hours versus this flexibility, is working well to increase as well the productivity, to keep because you are a company at the end, the model needs to work. So for that, we have two additional questions that were made in the chat. Let me read them to you to make sure that I understand them properly. To Enya, to Alicia, do you have some flexibility or measures for conciliation in the stores, okay, in the employees that are in the stores as well, and which are them? And to both of you, Pau and Alicia, do you set daily working hours, a weekly minimum, yearly total of work hours that you have to fulfill? How to ensure also not to exceed, no? Because okay, with so many flexibility, also we could go through the other level.
In terms of the stores, basically, yeah, it's different, of course, than an office. And what we have is different shifts. So most of our employees in the store, they don't work full time, 40 hours a week. They have contracts for 35, 30, 35 hours a week, and they work on different shifts. And the flexibility here is that shifts can rotate, or they can, pick or change or switch different shifts. So that's a flexibility there, yeah. And in terms of the number of hours, we work the hours dictated in our CBA, our collective agreement, and we count them annually, of course, and then weekly. As I said, it's 40 hours a week, and because we work reduced hours on Friday, 6. So these 2 that we wouldn't do on Fridays, we do them between Monday and Thursday.
Thank you, Alicia. Pau?
So in our case, it's similar. Our regular journey, it's 40 hours a week. There is people which is doing good journeys, but it's 40 hours. But what I mean when I said this flexibility is that these 40 hours a week, or these 166 hours per month, more or less, it can be distributed by the person preferences. So for example, there is most of us that do on Friday just 6 hours, and then we do more hours during the week. But there is also people that works from the morning until 3, and then they works on the 8, from 8 to 11 when the kids are sleeping. There is people that is working every day from 6 or 7 in the morning to 3. Some ones that works from 10 to 7. Some people that do things like you said before, Marta, that they are divorced and they do different schedules one week than the next one. So this is the kind of flexibility I wanted to mention. But yes, the hours are fixed. We are at least we are a consultancy firm, and we sell services, and we need to dimensionate our work in hours, and yes, it's this 40.
Thank you. Good to know how this exactly it's being applied, and also to know this that you are both talking and in works that you can do it remotely, no? But there are places, as Alicia, you were referring through the question, no, that they are working in the store, so it's a bit more difficult there to have this flexibility. But even there, it's important to try to introduce measures to them. My question for you is based on that. Who was the main trigger to make these changes happen in your organization? Was because the workers asked for it? It was because the direction wanted? It was human resources? Who was the main trigger? And if you have to give us, those that are listening to us, no, if you have to give us 1, 2 tips on how to start, what would you recommend?
In my case, I'm being honest, I've been 1 year here and most of the measures were implemented already. But as I said,
So you were not the trigger. You were not the trigger, Alicia.
at that point. But as I said, it was, of course, after the pandemic, it came from always. And also, you know, when you are, for example, looking for new talent and making interviews, and it's always on the table. The question and the interest for all these measures are there. So in our case, it came from the company and from the employees from both parts. But yeah, it's there and it's still happening and it will continue happening. So we will have to be creative and keep adapting to everything that is coming. And yeah, well, Pau, if you wanna.
Yeah. I want to take your last words related with that continue evolution and always reinventing. I think it's a key point. In our case, it came with that mission that I shared with you before, that put people at the heart of the organization. We have different policies. I didn't mention it today, but we have policy related with salaries, with well-being and habits and different kind of things. And one of them are, as you said, are crucial, the ones that are related with that time policies. And as you said, it's something that everybody is asking when he's coming to an interview, or when he's asking if he want to work with us, how we manage these time policies. And I think that the trigger probably related with remote work, as Alicia said, it's the pandemics and this telework. I get surprised when you shared previously the numbers from teleworking in Spain, because I thought that it was more habitual. But I think that pandemics changed it to every organization how we were implementing that. I don't know if you had another question related.
No, I think that's perfect, but the audience is asking for 2 additional questions, so I'm going to use the time to take these 2 questions. And those people that maybe have more questions in the audience, I will ask you to stay, because at the end of the event, we will open the floor again. Okay, so let me ask the 2 last questions. The first one is from Bernadette, and she said, which will be your next improvement in time use policies that you would love to see in your company? So this is the first question. And the second question is from Olobumi, that says, what do you do for those that must work at the must work presentially, or those work that needs to be done inside of the office? And how many hours per day are they there, those that need to be face-to-face in the office? So these 2 last questions for you.
Yeah, in my case, at Etnia, so we have some teams that do have to be here at the offices, and what we offered them, for example, was compacted hours. They could work dense hours, and some people chose it and some others didn't. Because as I said, we can also do, a 30 minutes lunch break, and we can eat here in the own restaurant, which is super convenient as well. So yeah, but we did try to offer something different, of course, to compensate the lack of working from home. And next improvement, well, if the reduced hours finally happen from 40 to 37.5, I think that's our next challenge, no? Our next objective, and we will work on that.
Fantastic,
Yes.
Alicia.
Okay.
Then Pau?
Yes, for sure, this new challenge on reducing the work hours per week here in Spain will be a step over, no? A good change for everybody. And I also want to mention that, as we said before, we are always thinking on how to improve, because there is always a big challenges to improve. One of them for us, which work mainly in remote, also our meetings are 99% remote. We have a big challenge to improve in work, in time management, the reunionitis, which we say here in Barcelona, which is maybe sometimes it's not needed a meeting if you can send an email, or you can try to be more efficiency. Here we have a long way to move with that efficiency. So I would like to find tips and tools from this this session today to improve that kind of problem. And also the question related with presentiality, we have a few roles and positions that need to be 100% non-remotely, only present still. But they work the same, related with, they don't have this flexibility in a space, in spacious, no? This spatial remote is not applied, but they have this time flexibility. So, but it's exceptional, because we are lucky in that part, that our industries allow us to do that.
So thank you very much, Alicia, Pau, to inspire us, to inspire the audience that today is connected with us, because I think that we saw today, that sometimes there no need to be changes in a law. So to wait to make changes at your organization. You have demonstrated how to introduce more flexibility, to give more autonomy, to compact schedules in your company, and how that is a win-win for everybody. So I think that that's a very important conclusion. I also think that, as you mentioned, with the new law, reducing the working hours for everybody, it will be a trigger. So much more organizations start this process on rationalizing the working hours and looking for a more balanced organization. So thank you again for your time, for sharing your good examples with us. I will ask you to stay a bit more, because probably we will have more questions at the end of the session for you. Thank you for your time, Alicia and Pau.
Thank you.
And now,
Thank you.
And now, if you allow me, we are going to move to the part 3 of the session, which I think that it's going to be very, very practical, is where Leah Barrese, who is consultant at Time Use Initiative, is going to explain you the tool to self-assess yourself in your organization, if your organization have time policies, and what you can do. So, Leah, we are very looking forward for this. So, good afternoon.
Thank you, Marta, and good afternoon to you all. I'm really excited to share with you this self-assessment questionnaire or tool, which is designed to enhance both productivity and well-being within our workplace, something that's been, I would say, the idea and the X where we have been gravitating around this session. So what is this tool? Basically, this is a diagnostic tool or a diagnostic framework that helps us to assess how effectively our organizations manage time across different areas or dimensions. The idea here is for you to be able to identify your strengths, the gaps, what might be missing, and of course, which might be opportunities or areas interesting for improvement. And how do we use this tool? Well, it's quite straightforward. Basically, this is a list of over 45 good practices in which the idea is for you to assess and indicate if you have this measure in practice in your organization, if you don't have this initiative in practice, or if you don't have it, but you are interested in introducing it because you think this might be a good opportunity within your area and your work. So basically, after completing this tool or this questionnaire, the idea is for you to make this analysis, right? And see the options of how to develop an action plan. And what's an action plan? Basically, it's saying which is going to be the first area of impact that you will aim for and trying to figure out all the details and steps on how to get to it. So what we'll do today is to share with you these 5 key areas on the improvements on time policies and some aspects of each of them. Basically, the main goals that we have identified in each of these 5 areas, and also some examples of these initiatives that you may find in order for you to have kind of an idea of what are we talking about in each of them. So the first one, which is efficient and rationalization-oriented time management, it's an area for optimizing the workflows to reduce the waste of time and to improve productivity. This basically means get more done with less effort. The second area is work-life balance and flexible hours. This is something that has been mentioned a lot in our cases shared before. And here the goal is to support, of course, a better balance between work and personal life, offering flexibility, options of teleworking, and of course, accommodating to the diverse needs that our employees may have. The third area, it's titled Effective Co-Responsibility between Men and Women, and this area focuses basically on promoting gender equality and ensuring both men and women with equal share responsibilities both at work and at home. The fourth area, management of shifts and night work. This is a crucial aspect also to address these unique challenges that may be faced by shift workers and those working at night, ensuring that their schedules are managed in the ways that protects their health and their well-being. And the fifth area, it's called promoting time consciousness and facilitating social time for workers. This involves mainly fostering a culture of time awareness and providing opportunities for social interaction that can also contribute to cohesion in the environment. So going a little bit deeper into the first area, this idea of efficient rationalization and oriented time management models includes sub-areas that are called organization culture, efficient meetings, work systems oriented toward rationalization, and of course, the key aspect of commuting. The objectives here is trying to move from a face-to-face culture based on the hours that we do at work to a culture that's working by objectives. And this means, of course, improving the productivity and, of course, increasing the satisfaction and the autonomy of our employees. This idea also, this area moves from this unidirectional way of organizing the dynamic of work, usually top-down, to a more negotiating organizational model that takes into account the needs, of course, of the organization and of people working in it. And finally, the objective of this area is to, of course, optimizing the workflows, enhance the productivity, and reduce the time waste. So some examples that we might find here as good initiatives of good practices are, as I was saying, like the biggest one could be having a time management plan that could be a more comprehensive and holistic tool set of strategy with a clear detail of working and rest periods, the flexibility measures, clear schedule, compensation hours plan. So a whole big package that your organization can put in place for making things clear and something like a place to go to check and to solve all doubts that might come regarding time organization. Regarding efficient meetings, as we were mentioning before, promoting efficient meetings means to encourage best practices in this matter, making meetings shorter, try to figure out which meetings are necessary and which are not. We also have a culture of trying to solve everything with a meeting. Well, you know, sometimes some things can be solved with an email. And so this idea is promoting this kind of things. Of course, also having clear agendas when we have meetings, foster and enhance and promote punctuality and save of time. Then another good practice in this area could be leveraging from technology. This means using software, all the tools that we might find online that could help our systems. There are many of them that are free, so it could be a good option sometimes, and it would save some time to have this software on the dynamic of the work, and also to use sometimes for training into it, because in the end it will help us save some time. And of course, the issue of commuting, which is consider basically the reduction of the possibility of presential meeting as much as possible. Something that, you know, in some cases, as we were discussing before, it's possible, and in some cases it's not. So again, here, trying to be as flexible as possible with this aspect. Then another key area that we have identified with this tool is the work-life balance and flexible hours. As we were mentioning before, flexibility, predictable schedule, and also peak workload management. Those are kind of keys aspects to consider. Also, regarding technology, taking into account the importance of the digital disconnection for our employees' well-being. So basically, the objectives of the initiatives that we have listed here are to foster a better work-life balance that can accommodate to each of our employees' needs. Enhance both flexibility and teleworking options, helping to lower stress levels, burnouts, and therefore reducing staff turnover, and facilitating the balance between personal life and professional life for us, this means basically having three concepts into place, which are predictability, efficient organization, and flexibility in scheduling. These are the three main areas where we believe the dynamic should try to help employees to have a good balance. When we talk about these aspects, some of the examples that we can mention here are, as I was saying, predictability in scheduling. This means basically trying to assess individual preferences and try to be as clear as possible regarding schedules, regarding shifts, regarding vacations, regarding when it's expected to be starting at work, whether that might be presential or online. So people can really accommodate their needs to what it's demanded and requested at work. But of course, as well, offering the flexibility of the working arrangements that might be helping that we were mentioning before, flexible scheduling and trying to be open to different kinds of remote and presential works when it's possible. Managing the workload peaks, that's also quite important, trying to be able to plan ahead for busy periods and to ensure that the workloads are distributed fairly as much as possible, and of course provide the appropriate rest and compensation when that might be possible. And another aspect here that we mention is the digital disconnection, as I was mentioning before. This means including measures to respect the disconnection hours after work, and of course, raising awareness about this topic. Now, turning to the next key area of our tool, we talk here about the effective co-responsibility between men and women. Here, of course, the objectives are quite self-explanatory, are basically promoting gender equality and promoting co-responsibility, both in care and domestic tasks, and also, of course, in the work life. The aim here, of course, is as well to attract and retain female talent, because we have, as Marta was mentioning before, a struggle to skip the motherhood penalty, as we were mentioning also in another of the sessions in this summer school. So basically, promoting policies that could also help with parental leaves and be co-responsible are equally important for both genders. Ensuring that the organization of policies support equal opportunities for our employees, that's also something that we believe it's quite important to take into account in your organization. Some examples of this area might involve providing the same work-life reconciliation facilities for employees regarding their gender, offer support with caregiving responsibilities, promote shared parental leaves and extended care-related leaves. Awareness campaigns are also encouraged, and also, of course, trying to maintain healthy habits within our meal times and according to our biological clocks. And quickly going through the last two areas, the management of the shift and night work. Basically, again, the objectives here are quite self-explanatory, involves the improvement and the regulation of shift work and night work by trying to optimize as much as possible the schedules, providing the adequate support to maintain as much possible a work-life balance and healthy routines. Some examples of the initiatives to implement here are trying to tailor these shift patterns to align to the employees' needs, providing support, address the specific health and well-being needs, and trying to develop programs and trying to be as much as consciousness, both for the employees and for the organization, of what this involves. And another measure here spotted is also to allow shift workers to have meals at the appropriate times, even though this might be during their shift times. And last but not least, promoting time consciousness and facilitating social time for workers' well-being. This means cultivating a culture of time awareness and fostering social interactions, which are vital for a cohesive and healthy workplace. Implies basically also to raise awareness about the healthy time habits and the circadian rhythms as well. Some ideas on this area might be incorporating sleep quality measures to assess the sleep practices, especially for those in irregular shifts. Also encouraging social interactions, organize regular social events, provide time for community and volunteer activities to enhance social cohesion, and as I was mentioning before, raising awareness. So basically that's a quick overview of our tool. You can access and download this tool for free. I will try to share it with you here, if it's possible. I don't know if you can see it now. Yes, great. So this is our tool, just for you to have a quick idea of it. It's, as I was saying, quite self-explanatory. This is the list, and here is the table for you to make the checks of the yes, no, and no but interest, for you to be able to spot whether you have already in place good practices or you might identify an opportunity for improvement. And also, in case you might need some support in developing your action plan, from the Time Use Initiative will be more than happy to help you. We have developed quite many action plans and assessments and support services for many organizations already. So we have quite a fun experience on this matter. So thanks a lot, and I look forward for your questions.
Thank you very much, Leah. That was fantastic. We got first ideas from different companies, and now to have a tool to evaluate if our own companies have time policies. So that was very, very nice. And Leah, it generated quite interest in the chat. So what we are going to do is answering some of the questions that they have for you. And then we will go to the part that I promised, that is your participation of all the audience that we have today. We will ask your participation inputs. So Leah, the first question that is thinking, it's from Erica, and say, I have a question for Leah. She says, thinking about a more efficient time management models, did you analyze how many professionals could benefit from it? So this would be a question. And also, what could be the suggestions to improve time management for those professions that cannot work by objective, that they need presential? Can we offer flexible schedules there? I think that these are two questions that probably Leah and the panel of four can answer, but also maybe Anna, maybe Alicia and Pau also want to bring their expertise here. Because if we are the four of us in the screen, I'm going to ask the last question that also we have received in the chat. This was from Elisa, And Elisa was asking us, applying time policies in your office, do you consider as well the care workers who make your companies work smooth? Cleaning staff, people that work in the canteen, security guards, so on. So I will launch this pool of questions and I will give the opportunity to all of you to answer back.
So if you want, I can jump in. Basically, if I get it right, for questions means how many professions or workers do you mean? I'm not sure if we are talking about here different industries that we might get involved, or the quantity of people in an organization. So I can answer both in any case. We tried to work through this tool and help industries and organizations from different industries. So this could work whether you might have like a consultancy software services, where you might think teleworking might be easier, but it's not always the case. But also in companies like are working in an industrial and food sectors that are more product based. And companies also going from 5 employees to over 500. So here, for instance, we have the examples of Elring-Kringer, which is an organization that manufactures tools pieces, like mechanic pieces for industry, for metal industry, and they are over 500 people in the organization, and they have implemented many of these time policies that I have mentioned before. Or Mercabarna, this is another organization here that works in the food sector, and it also have implemented those. And for other kind of examples and companies, we have here the best cases and practices of Etnia and Basetis that could also share more about their sector.
Thank you, Leah. And on this, no, as you were explaining before, these working reduction hours in Spain should impact to the 88% of the workers of all Spain. This is a country of 40 million people, so you can make yourself the numbers. But going to those questions that we launched before, Pau and Alicia, do you want to answer back as well?
Yeah, so back to the first question about what we do with, cleaning staff, people working in the canteen, security guards. In our case, all these teams are externalized. So we count of other companies providing these services for us, and they are close by companies. And what we do try to certain our suppliers, in general, is that they are aligned to our values. So we ensure that they also take care of their people. And since they are here anyway, we offer them also our services, our classes, our menus, anything that we can to support them. But it's true that in our case, they are not internal employees, but external employees coming from suppliers.
Yeah. In our case, it's really similar, my answer. We are, as I said, we are a technological company, but we don't have our own. We are allocated in La Pedrera, so for example, these cleaning staff, security guards are for the properties of the building, not for us. And I probably assume that the question, it comes from if it's possible to apply these time policies, for example, when the cleaning staff usually works the first of them, when the day starts, or the guards, they have turns or these kind of things. So probably it's difficult to apply the same rules for everybody. As I said, our policies are for everybody, but we don't have this kind of roles in our company.
Thank you, Pau. That was very interesting. And Pau, there is even one person in the chat which is giving you solutions for the problem that you were saying of having a lot of meetings. Or
Thank you.
Ologumi, she said instead of having unnecessary meetings, there can be an employee group page where the general information and instructions can be shared and can be actionable. So it's very good that between the audience that is following today and you guys, we are sharing good practices. I'm pretty sure that the tool that Leah was sharing with us can be useful for many of you. And now, if you all agree, I will ask Leah, Pau, and Alicia to stay, because we are going to launch the pool, okay, to see what our audience also thinks about that, to have this more direct interaction. So if you all colleagues go to the chat that you have, you should see the first question being launched. The first question is, does your organization currently have any time policy or initiative in place? The answers are yes. We have time policies implemented. No, they are not implemented, or not, but I think that they will be very interesting. So let's see, you can all vote in the chat, and then we will be seeing the results. As we said, time policy is an area that is for the future, for those companies that are looking at the future. Correct. So probably some companies already have, but some companies still need to familiarize and get familiarized with the concept of time management and time organization. That's why one of the proposals that we were launching in the time use law, and Leah was mentioning in the questionnaire, is if you have a time organization plan. A plan, sometimes some organizations have a quality plan or safety and security plans, but do you have a time organization plan? That would be a very good idea to ensure the participation of workers, employees and employers all together to discuss together on how to improve the working schedules, and so far how to improve the satisfaction and engagement and the productivity of the company. So let's see what the results are saying on that. At the moment, we can see that 46% of the audience do not have, 46% of the audience, they don't have any initiative implemented, and 23% they see that as an opportunity. So they don't have it, but they see as an opportunity to improve the company. So that's very good to see that we have an audience that it's getting introduced to the topic, and I'm pretty sure that this presentation of today of Alicia, Leah, and Paul was very, very useful to you guys. So second question that is being launched is, which of the following time initiative you would like that your organization can introduce in the next year? There are options between time management, improvement plan, efficient meeting culture, use of time management, software, digital disconnection measures, workday compactation options, promoting a healthy eating habits, as Alicia was mentioning before, and reducing commuting time initiatives. I'm pretty sure that all of them are very interesting to everybody, but if you had to choose one, which one would you like to see in your organization? So we are compiling the 4 answers. They are telling me, the technical team, that you only can see 4 answers, so you can see the 4 first answers on that. We are going to give a couple of seconds more, and then Alicia and Leah and Pau, I'm going to ask you about the results. Did you expect that the audience also was new in the topic? And also, let's see what they vote the most. They say that 45% of the audience is saying that they would like to have, as a measure for next year, an efficient meeting culture, 45%. 27% of them, they would like to have digital disconnection measures inside of their company. Maybe this is a topic that we didn't approach enough. So maybe Pau and Alicia and Leah, you can share something on digital disconnection, and also 18% of them, they would like to have a time management improvement plan. So what do you think about the results? Pau, Alicia, and Leah, I will come to you while I'm reading the third question. Okay, so the audience can vote. The third question is, what are the aspects that concern you the most regarding the time management in your organization? Lack of clear policies, inefficient meeting practices, difficulty in balancing work and personal life, or lack of flexibility. So while the audience is voting, what do you think? What do you think on this need that they say that they would like to see digital disconnection?
I would like to say that digital disconnection is also a challenge, that it's not easy for us to face it, but it's mandatory to face it and to try to find solutions. And we are just right now writing this digital disconnection plan and protocol, which it's not it's in our minds, but it's not really right wrote. And there emerged some ideas like using our capacity to do digital solutions in-house. So we are thinking in adapting our Google Suite for things like not sending emails from when, or not receiving email, or not being able to send an email out of hours, or just popping up an alert and saying, you are sending an email on Saturday. Are you sure you want to send? Or something, things like that. Or we are thinking in adapting our Google Calendar with icons which implement like this. This meeting is, I don't know, it's just informative, and this one is to decide things, and this one. So it's just to implement technological solutions that would help us to make better these improvements.
Thank you, Pau. Very, very interesting. Alicia.
Yeah, I completely agree with the results of this last question. I mean, efficient meeting culture, I think this has a high impact, so completely agree. And in terms of disconnection, I think one of the challenges is the use of WhatsApp, you know, because as a company, we work with the Microsoft tools package, you know, Outlook and Teams, and we can control that, but we cannot control the use of WhatsApp between teams, between people, managers and employees. So it's difficult because for some people it's natural to contact their colleagues or their teams through WhatsApp. But I think it can be very invasive, you know, because it's normally your own personal phone number and phone device, and you cannot block it, you know, so and it's outside of work. So I think this is one of the challenges to face when we talk about disconnection.
Thank you very much on that for your contributions. Leah, not sure if you want to add anything else on the regard.
Sure, yes, I can reflect a little bit on the results of the polls. So basically what I see here is that I think there's a lot of room for improvement in many of our organizations. 46% that they don't have any initiative implemented, which I'm sure it's not completely true, because sometimes when you see the list of over 50 initiatives, you will see that some of them for sure they are already in place, but it's of course different to see them all together, to see this action plan as a plan, putting time in the center. Of course, it changed a little bit the perspective on how to address these challenges. And I think also reflecting on the second question, which is which initiatives can you introduce most likely this efficient meeting culture? I think it's a good starting point. It's an easy one also. So let's start, as they say, with baby steps. I think it's crucial to start understanding that when it's important to meet, when it's not important to meet, what things can be solved with a Teams chat message, which ones with an email, which one with a short meeting to just check in something, and which ones requires more time and perhaps also presentiality. And again, there are no clear policies or guidelines. This is, I think, one of the biggest problems or challenges that we faced and that we saw in many organizations. When you don't have a clear plan and annual objectives, goals, something that you can, divide and conquer, so to speak, it makes it all quite impossible to organize for both the organization and the employees. So as I was mentioning before, predictability, trying to plan ahead as much as possible will always help the efficiency of the organization, but also being flexible and accommodating to our employees' needs are also crucial aspects to always take into account.
Micro.
Thank you very much, Leah. Thank you very much, Alicia, Pau, and all the contributions in the audience. At the moment, there is even a chat between the different participants on the measures that are being explained here. I'm going to summarize the results of the last poll that we launched, that we were asking about exactly which were the biggest concerns in time management in your organization. And the result is that there is not clear policies or guidelines regarding time organization. So this predictability that we were talking, this need of predictability, 35% consider that. Another 35% also consider that there is not enough balance between work and personal life. So taking that into consideration, there is still a long road ahead to ensure that there is a proper balanced organization of time. We are very happy to see that today we show clear examples on how to get that, and also a tool that you will be able to use in the coming weeks in your own organization to make sure that you can evaluate how you are doing. And if you have any question, please contact us. You have in the tool the way of contacting us to implement these practices and to share good examples. I would like to finish the session of today. We have 1 minute left by saying thank you again to our speakers. It was a really pleasure to listen and to learn from you. Thank you to the audience that has been following very, very actively this debate. And just to keep in mind that tomorrow we are going to continue with the summer school, but instead of being for organizations, it's going to be for local governments. And this is going to be a face-to-face organization meeting that will take place between tomorrow and Friday in Barcelona. Also, for those that they want to know more, they want to keep getting more information on time policies, we can already ask you to save the date for the time use event, the time use week event that happens every year and where we promote time policies. This will take place from the 21st to the 23rd of October this year, and it will be available online. So if you follow our social networks, if you follow our website, you will receive information on which will be the debates this year, the topic is ensuring the right to time for everybody, how to make sure that this arrives to all the majority of the citizens, not just a part of it. And last but not least, this is the last session of the FAIR's Summer School of Time Policies for Organization. It has been a pleasure to organize this school with you, and I'm pretty sure that we will do next editions in the future. For those that wish to have a certificate of attendance, please write to us and we will give you. And now, yes, just to tell you, to finalize, that time policies are the future policies that will make your company and yourself to live better and to have a more healthy, egalitarian, and efficient organization. So I hope that you can become an ambassador of time policies, and looking forward to see you in the next events all together. Thank you again to our speakers, and good afternoon to everybody.